What is going on, Cardano friends? Welcome to the channel. My name is Fareed, and in today's video, I want to give you guys a quick update on the Indigo protocol, which recently launched their dApp on the preview testnet on Cardano. Now, if it's your first time hearing about Indigo, they're going to be an algorithmic autonomous synthetics protocol for on-chain price exposure to real-world assets built on Cardano. Now, as a part of the Indigo platform, you're going to be able to create synthetic assets known as iAssets. Now, these iAssets can be created using currencies such as stablecoins and ADA. Now, these are also going to have the same price effect as holding the asset that they're replicating. And so let's say that I replicate the Bitcoin token or the Bitcoin crypto. I'm actually now going to have access to the price action of that particular token. On top of that, you can use the iAssets to replicate things such as stablecoins as well as real-world commodities. Now, in addition to that, the Indigo protocol or the Indigo platform will also be providing features such as collateralized debt positions, stability pools or insurance pools, and staking. They're also going to allow for things such as governance, polls, and on-chain voting. Now, as a part of today's video, we're going to be focusing solely on their testnet, which again is going to be on the preview network on Cardano. Now, this was just released on November 14th of 2022, and they're currently undergoing the liquidity bootstrapping event process, which is a process to raise liquidity on the MinSwap DEX as we speak. And so if you're looking to earn the Indy token, which is going to be the native governance token for the Indigo protocol, you can participate right now in the LBE or the liquidity bootstrapping event taking place on MinSwap. Now, jumping back over into their website here, what I wanted to mention is that we are going to be reviewing the following features when it comes to their testnet. First, we're going to take a look at their dashboard and identify the layout and what's actually being displayed to us here. Following that, we're going to jump into the liquidations page here and talk about the process of liquidating collateralized debt positions or existing loans. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the stability pools, which again are going to be the insurance pools, making sure that the protocol is able to function as expected. And then following that, we're going to briefly touch on some of the governance features here, which are available on the Indigo platform. Now, before we jump into this, if you guys appreciate these types of videos, then make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time visiting the channel, then make sure to consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments about any of the content covered in today's video, then make sure to leave a comment down below. And so I'm going to jump back over into their testnet site here. And there's going to be two things that we need to do before we can actually get started. Now, the first thing that we need to do is actually make sure that we're on the preview testnet. And then after that, we need to load up our test wallet with the test ADA and the test Indy tokens. So let's walk through that process now. So first, I'm going to jump back over into the dashboard here. And from here, we're going to select to connect our wallet to the Indigo protocol. From here, I can select this option here and then select my NAMI wallet. And I'm going to go ahead and click on access. We have now made sure that my wallet is connected. Next, I'm actually going to click on the wallet here and just double check the network that I'm currently on. So in order to do that, I'm going to click on my icon here, scroll down to settings, come down to network. And as we can see here, I am connected to the preview network. Now, if you're connected to any other network, you're going to want to make sure to click on this drop down here, select preview, and then you should be good to go. In addition to that, I am going to quickly make sure that my collateral is set. So in order to do that, I'm going to click on my icon again here and then click on collateral. And then I'm going to go ahead and enter my password. And we have now made sure that our collateral is set in order for us to interact with the protocol. So that's going to knock out the first few steps there. And while I'm actually here, I'm also going to go ahead and copy my wallet address here. And so now that we've got our wallet connected, let's go ahead and actually add some test ADA in order to fund our wallet so we can interact with the platform. So next, I'm going to navigate to docs.cardano.org. And from here, you can access the testnet faucet. And the testnet faucet is just going to send you 10,000 test ADA to whichever address you provided. So I'm going to confirm here that we do want to send our test ADA to the preview testnet. Alternatively, you can select the pre-prod testnet. Next, I want to receive test ADA, and then I'm going to paste my wallet address here. And I'm just going to confirm that I'm not a robot and then request the funds. And so right now I have 28,000 test ADA. I should be receiving 10,000 more very shortly. And so now that we've got our test ADA, we do need to also grab some of the test Indy tokens. So in order to do that, while we're on the preview testnet, we're going to navigate over to preview.sundayswap.finance. And from here, we can see that there is a liquidity pool for the test Indy token. Now, as we can see here, each of the test Indy tokens is currently trading for a price of 3.67 ADA. Do keep in mind that this is only on the preview testnet, and this has no bearing on the price or the future price of the actual token launching on the mainnet. From here, I can click on more, and I can click on swap T-Indy for ADA. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I can actually supply my ADA. So I'm going to go ahead and provide 5,000 ADA, which is going to equal 1,300 of the test Indy tokens. I'm going to connect my wallet, accept the terms, select NAMI, and provide the DApp access to my wallet. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and swap. I'm going to confirm the swap. And we're now going to wait for this order to get processed, scooped, and completed. Now that we've got the test Indy token and the test ADA tokens within our wallet on the preview testnet, I've navigated back over into the Indigo app. Over here on the top left-hand corner of the screen, we can see the total iAsset market cap, or the market cap for all of the synthetic assets right now on their marketplace. We also have iUSD, which is going to be a synthetic representation of the stable coin for the US dollar. And then there's also going to be iBTC, which we can create a collateralized debt position against, which is going to be a synthetic representation of Bitcoin. As I mentioned before, as this app rolls out on the mainnet, we could expect to see additional proposals for support of additional iAssets. Now, to the right of the iAsset market cap, we have the total value locked, and this is going to be the sum of all locked assets within the protocol, which currently stands at right about 1 million USD or 2.93 million ADA. To the right of that, we have the total collateral ratio, which is also the combined collateral ratio for all collateralized debt positions that are currently open on the Indigo protocol. Now, the closer that this number is to 100%, the worse off we are in terms of health for the overall collateralized debt positions that are open on the protocol. And then the higher this number or this percentage is, the better off we are in terms of health for the overall collateralized debt positions on the Indigo protocol. Now, next to that, we have the total circulating supply when it comes to the Indigo protocol token, which is again going to be required for the governance portion of the DApp. And it's also going to be the native governance token for the platform. Now, if you want to see the current positions that you currently have open, you can use this toggle here in order to view that. And so as you guys can see here, I was doing a little bit of testing here on the platform prior to shooting this video, in which I opened a small position where I was borrowing the iUSD stablecoin. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip this filter back. And what we see here are going to be the names of the iAssets. We also have their current price in ADA as well as USD. We can see their current market cap right now. And keep in mind that this is for the iAsset, not the underlying asset that it's actually tracking. And then if we have an outstanding balance or if we own any of the iAsset, that would be listed here. Our collateral ratio, or the health of our loans, or our CDP, collateralized debt positions, is also listed here, with the total amount that's currently within the stability pool, or the insurance pool that's used to pay back any liquidated loans. Now, if you do donate, or if you do delegate, to the stability pools, you can actually earn a part of the liquidation fees that occur anytime a liquidation happens on the protocol. Now, if you want to open a position, let's actually go ahead and walk through that process now. you can actually click on the open position button here to the right of whichever iAsset you want to open a position for. Now on this next screen here, I'm going to have some additional information about the iAsset that I want to open a position for. Again, at the top I have the price, the total supply, the market cap, the total collateral ratio for this current iAsset, and then the minimum collateral ratio that I have to have whenever I try to borrow or open a CDP for this iAsset. Now here I can see the actual, or I can enter the actual collateral amount, which again is going to be my test ADA. At a glance, I can supply 25% of the total test ADA that I have in my wallet by using this button here. Similarly, it works for 50%, 75%, and 100%. For now, I'm only going to put up 1,000 of my ADA, and I'm going to keep a collateral ratio of 160%. And so again here, speaking to the collateral ratio, the higher this percent, the better off in terms of health the collateralized debt position will be. And so this means that it's going to be a less risky loan or a less risky position the higher the collateral ratio. Now, once the collateral ratio hits 110%, you are going to be very close to being liquidated. As soon as it actually falls below 110%, you can have your CDP or your collateralized debt position frozen, at which point it then can undergo liquidation process. So do make sure that you do not have your collateral ratio fall below 110%. And in order to actually avoid that, you can either sell or return some of your debt, or you can add more to your collateral, which in this case would be my ADA. And so as we can see here, 1,000 ADA with a 160 collateral ratio will give me 0.012691 of the IBTC asset. And so once I confirm that, I can click on I understand here, and then I can actually open my position. I'm now going to be prompted to actually sign my transaction here once it's confirmed that I do have a total balance of more than 1,000 test ADA. So I'm going to click on sign here, and I'm going to enter my password, and then I'm going to click on confirm. All right, it looks like the transaction has finished processing on the network. As we can see here, I have a collateralized debt position now with a collateral ratio of 160%, in which I've provided 1,000 ADA as collateral, and I've received 0.012691 IBTC. Again, keep in mind that this is not going to be the actual Bitcoin token, but it's going to be a synthetic representation giving the exposure to its price action. Now, if I want to remove ADA from this particular position, which would actually make my collateral ratio decrease, I can do so by using this withdraw tab here, and I can enter how much ADA I want to remove. So let's say I want to remove 200 ADA from the current position. You can see that my collateral ratio would actually fall to 128%. Again, keep in mind that you can be liquidated once it falls below 110%. And so if I were to remove 200 ADA right now from this position, it would make my loan a lot more risky. Now, if I want to mint additional IBTC, or if I want to add more debt to my current position, I can also do that by using this mint tab here. Again, I can add how much IBTC I want to mint out here. And then I can also then see how that would affect my collateral ratio and my total debt. Now, let's say that I want to return, or I want to close out my debt position. I can use this burn feature here to actually burn the IBTC that I currently hold, and then I would receive in exchange my collateral, which is my 1,000 ADA. And so that's going to be the process of opening a collateralized debt position, and the options that we can use to increase our position, pay back our BTC, and so forth. Next, I want to talk about the liquidation process on the Indigo protocol. And so as we can see here, we're viewing the top 10 CDPs based on their collateral ratio. And this particular one here at the very top is at a 110 collateral ratio, which means that it's on the verge of being eligible for liquidation. Now, once this actually drops below 110%, there's going to be a button here that appears, which is going to allow for anybody using the Indigo protocol to freeze that particular CDP. Once a CDP is frozen, the user who actually generated the CDP will no longer have access to that position, and that will then be available for liquidation. Once liquidation occurs, the collateral that the user provided during the initial creation of the CDP will be taken, and the assets from the stability pool here will actually be used to fulfill the liquidation. And so once that occurs, the ADA that was initially put up as collateral from this user will actually go back into the stability pool. And so the stability pools are going to give liquidity providers a way to basically fund the protocol while also earning some of the fees whenever a liquidation occurs. And so again, that's going to be a passive way to earn some income on the Indigo protocol. Now, moving over into the stability pools themselves, we can deposit IBTC or IUSD within them in order to earn the rewards whenever liquidations occur. And so as you guys can see here, the pool balance is listed at the very top. The amount that I've currently staked, which is 26 of the iUSD tokens, is also listed here. The amount that is currently available for staking is also listed. So right now I don't have any additional iUSD to stake, but because I just took out a CDP for IBTC, I can stake that if I want to the stability pool. Now down below here, I can see the rewards that I've earned so far for my iUSD. And then if I want to manage the stability pool position, I can click on manage here. Now, if I had more iUSD to add, I could do so by using this deposit section here. If I wanted to withdraw the iUSD balance that I currently have, which is 26, I can do that from this menu here. And then if I want to claim the rewards associated with this particular iUSD position, I can use this section here. Now, do keep in mind that if you do claim your iUSD, it's also going to remove the current staked amount. So keep that in mind. Now that's going to wrap it up here for the stability pools. Again, it's going to be a way to fund the protocol while also earning some passive income. Moving over into the governance section, we can see the total amount of the Indie token that has been staked on the platform, which is currently sitting at 102 million. I can see how much I've currently staked, which is 100 of the tokens. I can see how many of my tokens are currently locked, how much of the pool share I currently own, and then how many rewards in the Indie token I've currently earned. Now down below, you can search for proposals, or you can search through proposals, I should say. And so you have the ability to search by proposal type, whether it's a text proposal, an update iAsset proposal, a proposal to delist a current iAsset, or a proposal to list a brand new iAsset on their platform. Now, if you want to create your own new proposal, you can also do that by clicking on this create proposal button. So I'm going to walk through that process very quickly now. From here, I can select the type of proposal that I want to create. For now, it's going to be a text proposal. I can use this feature here, or the search bar here, to search for a type of proposal. And so I'm going to go ahead and just select this one here. A poll to launch the first version of the protocol. I'm going to click on review here. Now, because this is a generic proposal, I'm not going to read through all of this here. I'm just going to scroll down to the very bottom, click on I accept, and I'm going to submit my proposal. Now, before I continue, I do want to mention that there's going to be a 0.012 ADA transaction fee, a 22 ADA sharding fee, which is going to allow for members of the community to vote on my proposal. And then there's going to be a 100 Indie proposal submission fee, which I'm actually going to lose if the proposal gets struck down or does not go through. And I do believe that I do get it back if it is approved. So I'm now going to go ahead and submit my proposal. I'm going to go ahead and sign my transaction and enter my spending password. And we're going to give that a second to process on the Cardano blockchain. It looks like the transaction has processed, and I'm now being prompted to sign additional transactions for the sharding process. As I mentioned before, the shards are going to be required in order for members within the community to actually vote on the proposal. So I'm going to go ahead and sign this here. And we're going to give the platform a few seconds to actually create the shards. It looks like 5 shards have now been created, and I'm being prompted to sign an additional transaction for the remaining 5 shards. The sharding process has completed, and I'm now back on the front page of the governance section, where I can now see my new proposal, which was just created. Now, if I click on my proposal, again, I can read all of the proposal details here. And then at the very top, I can see the voting status. So if I want to vote yes for the proposal, I can click on this button here. And then alternatively, if I want to vote no, I can click on the second option here. I can also see the time at which the voting is going to end. And so this voting will be ending 1 week from now, which will be November 28th at 2:09 a.m. Now, if I select to vote yes here, I'm going to be prompted to confirm by paying a transaction fee again of 0.12 ADA, and then also locking up 100 of my Indie tokens. Now, one thing that it does note here is that the tokens that are locked up do not prevent you from actually voting on additional proposals. And once you've locked up your 100 Indie tokens on a first proposal, you can actually vote on additional proposals without having to lock up any more of the Indie token. And so this means that you will never have to lock up more than 100 Indie tokens if you're looking to participate by voting on a particular proposal. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm here. And again, I'm going to let the transaction get built. And then I'm going to go ahead and sign it and let it get processed on the blockchain. The voting transaction has completed successfully. And as we can see here now, the vote tally is showing as 100, again, representing the 100 Indie tokens that I just locked up in order to vote. And so that's going to take us through the entire process of interacting with the current version of the Indigo protocol on the Cardano Testnet. We were able to walk through the process of reviewing their dashboard. We even opened up a collateralized debt position in which we borrowed the IBTC token. And then we also reviewed and talked about the liquidation process as well as their stability pools. And then we also launched a proposal and then voted for it. And so if you guys found any of the information covered in today's video to be helpful, then please make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time visiting the channel, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments about any of the content covered in today's video, then make sure to leave a comment down below. With that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.